Today we're diving into a story that's really about community and hope, but it's also about what happens when a group's brightest moment is, well, it's suddenly plunged into darkness. We're going to explore how a dream, once it's ignited, can be carried forward even when its leader's gone.
So, how can that happen? How can triumph turn to tragedy so fast? The story of the Florida Keys Libertarians, well, it offers a really powerful and just a deeply human answer to that very question. So, let's get right into it.
Okay, so our story, it actually begins not with loss, but with this really vibrant new beginning. We're talking about a gathering that was just buzzing with optimism.
So, let's set the scene. The date is September 14th, 2025, and we're in the Florida Keys, a place that's, famous for its fiercely independent spirit. A group of people gathered there to build something brand new. This was supposed to be day one.
So what was this all about? Well, this was the inaugural meeting of the Libertarian Party of Monroe County. And get this, people traveled from over 100 miles away. They were all packed into a local restaurant, owned by the family of the National Party Chair, Stephen Nikila. I mean, you can just imagine the energy in that room. It was way more than just a meeting. This felt like the start of a movement, all built on this shared sense of purpose.
And of course, every new beginning needs leaders, right? So that day, the group did something really important. They elected their first ever executive committee to forge this new path.
And here they are. The new leadership team, it was a great mix of local experience and real political passion. You had Casey Watkins, who'd run for the local council before. He was named chair. Then he was joined by a veteran Libertarian, Mike Kane, and a local business owner, Danielle Davis. So you've got this team that's really rooted in the community. It really felt like all the pieces were falling right into place.
But sometimes it's one single moment that just perfectly captures the spirit of a day like this. Amidst all the official business, a college student, Joshua Espinosa, was so inspired by what was happening that he decided to register to vote for the very first time, right then and there.
I mean, that just says everything about the atmosphere, doesn't it? It wasn't some stuffy political meeting. It was a total community celebration. The entire room just erupted cheering for him. It was the perfect symbol of this new energy, this new hope for the future. But that incredible high point, that's exactly where our story takes a sharp and completely unexpected turn.
Because just as this new chapter was beginning, it was tragically cut short.
The timeline here is it's absolutely heartbreaking. On September 14th, Casey Watkins is elected chair, filled with all this vision for the future. And then, just 2 weeks later, he was gone.
In the cause of death, it was a sudden, completely unexpected stroke. The vibrant leader they had just chosen to guide this new movement, he was gone in an instant. It left the whole community and the new party in just stunned silence.
So, in the face of such a sudden loss, you see the community's focus begin to shift from what they had lost to who they had lost.
And this quote, man, it really gets to the heart of who Casey Watkins was. His impact wasn't just about politics. It was about his profound, really personal ability to connect with people, to make them feel seen.
The words people use to describe him, they really paint a clear picture. Things like unstoppable optimism, warmth, humor, and this deep compassion that somehow perfectly balanced that independent, entrepreneurial spirit of the Keys. I mean, by all accounts, he was just someone truly special.
And this next quote, it really reveals his core philosophy. See, for Casey, liberty wasn't some abstract academic ideal. No, it was a practical daily mission. It was about empowering the people around him to live their best lives.
His old dream was pretty simple, really. He wanted to unite his neighbors there in the Keys around shared values, freedom, responsibility, respect. And that was the mission he had just begun.
So, this all raises a really critical question, doesn't it? How does a community move forward from a loss like that? How does a dream survive the very person who first sparked it? Well, the answer for this community was action. The call went out to honor Casey's memory in the most fitting way you could possibly imagine, by finishing what he started. People were urged to join the cause and even to step up and serve on the very same committee he was meant to lead. And that leaves us with this final, really powerful question. The story of Casey Watkins is this incredible reminder that while a leader can be lost in a moment, a mission, a torch can be passed on. It really challenges all of us, to think about how we honor a legacy, not just with words, but with action, by carrying that torch forward.